Clash of Clans podcast, special episode number 27, as in Scotty 827, the Phantom Warlord, part 2. And we're back. Actually, we're back for a second time because we decided to record this episode again, or just a new episode, I should say, because the last time we spent a lot of time brainstorming the trophy push that we're in right now. And we didn't really get into many more of the Phantom Warlord's stories, which we will tonight as we're talking about it, because there's even today was a pretty crazy day. And so
I've done this in L before, and I wanted to show people today just the different type of shit I used to do when I was back in the Warriors. I used to go out into Global, find somebody. Sometimes it was just a random person. Other times it was somebody who was just being a major asshole, like the guy, the Joker 2-1. And I've posted those screenshots online now, so everybody can see. And Boaz actually put this stuff up on Twitter as well too. But no, today I went into Global, and I was asking, was there any fans, and nobody said anything. So this one guy spoke up saying that he wanted to join. So
I'm going to my screen. I screenshotted this because a very particular moment, but keep going with your story.
And I said, sure, absolutely. Are you a fan? And he said, no. And I said, okay, come on over. So he joins the clan. I sent him an invite, or he had already requested to join, and somebody had accepted him. And anyways, he gets in there, and people are saying hi to him, and he's chatting back. And that's kind of the key as far as for me to be able to pull this type of stuff off. So he gets in there, and he's a Town Hall 8, and he's decent. I think he's a 97 power overall. His name is Prokhar. And as soon as he gets in there, I join with one of my Town Hall 4s, and I post in there, hey, I'm a maxed Town Hall 4. Can I be co-leader? And with my Matt account, I said, yes, absolutely. Between me saying that to him, Prokhar speaks up and says, and he put LOL, Phantom Warlord for the, for the Town Hall 4.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then he sees me make the account, make the account the actual, that's the Phantom Warlord account. I can never spy with that thing anyways.
And by the way, this is going past, like, really fast in the chat. This is like several accounts. Boom, 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 boom.
The picture that I claim is Sister Pringle with all the iPads. That was pretty much me in my bedroom earlier today. So anyways.
You're a fast typer.
There's a trick to it. You type the stuff up that you think you're going to need to say, and then you wait there and you just hit enter when it's time for it to say that. So I kind of plan the stuff out ahead of time.
Oh, see, there's infiltration tip.
Yep. So anyways, that happened, and the guy, he's freaking out a little bit. He's like, he's LOL at first, and then he sees me actually promote the guy, and he says, whoa. And then he says, I'm a Max Town Hall 8, and I just didn't ignore him. So then I joined with my Max Town Hall 7, and I did the same thing.
And you said Prokhar is something I can't remember, but
Prokhar used to come to my clan and harass me.
Yeah,
that was my join message. And Prokhar is like, how the hell does he know? How does he know me? And anyway, so it posts the same thing. Hey, I'm a Max Town Hall 7. Can I be co-lead? And I say, yes, absolutely. And so I promote him. And Prokhar's starting to freak out. And at that point there,
here's what I have in the chat at this point. At one point, I said, here's where I took the picture. Let me see if I can see. Okay. Here's where I took the picture. He says, what is happening? ? RM84 says, why, Prokhar? And Matt says, Prokhar, is this what you enjoy doing? RM84 says, not cool, bro. Prokhar says, hey, LOL. You guys torturing me? DN says, I'm leaving. Left the clan. Matt says, oh my God, he was a max TH7. Prokhar says, hey, am I imagining things? And Monster says, imagine this. And that's just where I screenshot it because it was like right in the middle of the conversation where you had.
Oh, you missed one of my funnier parts there though too, because with the my other Town Hall 10 account, I posted in there, "Hey, I'm almost max Town Hall 10. Can I be co-lead?" And then I started jumping my other account shit, saying, "What the fuck? Why is everybody asking for co-lead today?"
Everything
saying,
was going so fast.
Yeah, you just got here. No. Needless to say, Prakar is confused out of his mind as far as what's going on.
You know, like
the Town Hall 4 is promoted to co-lead. The Town Hall 7 is promoted to co-lead. The Town Hall 10, no, hell no.
Am I imagining things? He says, and I just was like, "This is," and people who have been in the clan for like a few days, or will be in there, and I have to say, okay, everybody, It's all right. It's just the Phantom Warlord.
But you didn't even have to.
No, not today. No, everybody just stood back and fed into it too.
Oh yeah, and I'm going to touch on that in a second too.
I just left my Clash looking for those pictures. I hope I didn't get raided again. -3. That's all right. Okay.
Oh jeez. Wow, that was quick.
I know. Well, you know what? I put my Town Hall outside. So we're doing the trophy push against the other Kryptonian families. And then we'll get back to your stuff here in a second. Just to kind of preface where we're at. We brainstormed the push. And then I brainstormed it with Boaz and Nat also. And we ended up coming up with kind of a really, I think, solid idea. That wasn't boneyard proof, obviously.
No. Never is.
Never is. You have to. From now on, any plan that I have, I will go, how would Boneyard exploit this? And you'll be finding out more about this on an upcoming episode. But what we decided to do was do a family push, and basically with the families, in order to kind of level the playing field, it would be handicaps for each town hall. Only people that wanted to push that had to sign up. And then divided by the number of players. So that way we thought, it'd even the playing field and everything like that. So we're doing that this weekend. There's a few more days. I'm at my highest score ever. Well, actually, I'm not anymore. I'm at 3 less than my highest score ever, which is 3,338. Well, I'm at 3,335 right now.
Okay.
Been pushing. I don't want to jinx myself, but I haven't lost an attack since I hit champs. I lost one attack on the push, I think, up to this point, because I look at it, and if I hesitate at all, I do not attack.
Mm-hmm.
Next. Okay, you know what? There'll be something else, because I don't know if you noticed this, but when you start attacking, like, if you don't have a full army and you're looking for a snipe, you find all these really great camps. And you're like, oh yeah, I would totally hit. Why am I doing this? So I go, just remember those. And then I come back and I attack. And it's been working really well. So we're in the middle of a push right now. So everybody's been pretty active on the chat and witness to the Phantom Warlord's antics.
And I just got my 17th defense.
Yeah.
I've got 4 attacks won and 17 defenses won.
And so where are you at right now?
I just clicked the off button.
Here, I can check.
Okay.
You are at 2973. So you're coming up, and I saw your defensive wins, and I was just like, wow.
As long as you can get back
17.
into the game.
17.
Yeah, as long as you can get back into the game, because my thing is the double triple taps that you get, and by the time you get the triple tap, you don't have a queen or a king or anything left in your CC, and that tends to be when they get me.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And that's why I put the TH outside. I was doing really well with defensive wins up until champ, and then it was like, if people came at me, they came at me. And
right.
Nat told me, hey, I saw that she's doing fantastic. She's up at like
I just saw that. Yeah, that's insane.
Just amazing. Like, I think she just hit 3,500, and she's a new Town Hall 10, like relatively new. And
Yeah, she got there before as the Town Hall 9. That's insane to me.
yeah, well, and it really is, like, I think about being very picky, only attacking that you think you can really do it, because, that loss is the worst feeling in the world. So it's like, just next.
Yes.
And my loot is staying where it is, because if you lose a lot of loot because you're not getting that bonus also,
Right.
So the patience or whatever. But, so yeah, Nat's doing fantastic. And it's going to be
Egglay's
really
up there pretty high too, right?
He's at 34, 30 something.
Right.
That was going to be Zod's representative, but Zod is no longer in the push, which you will find out more about later. But yeah, it is a different world when you're competing, and there's 2 days left. So I'm excited to see what happens and talk about it like later on. And like, but yeah, so, okay, now we can get back to the, Phantom Warlord.
Yep. And my record for trophies is 3,056. So I'm closing in on that. I'm less than 100 away from that.
What do you think is your barrier at that point? Just the amount of tax like you get in?
Honestly, mine. You guys mentioned it. I just listened to the Boaz and Nat podcast that you guys just put up today. And that mental thing of it, because I keep listening to everybody, and I'm going in there trying to do the balloons and minions, and I suck at that completely. And I was like, why don't I just stick with what I know and just do my normal go wipe and go in there and do that, because I know for sure I'll get at least a star on these guys as I'm going in there, and I'm going in there not confident because I'm not confident my skills is with the balloonian stuff. So I think I've done it to myself.
Well, this is the exact point, I guess, that you just made, was the last war that we did. Mm-hmm. I had a complete go wipe army trained. And I was looking at these camps. And so okay, like the last matchup we had, so we're both in House of L. Right. Matt has been there since the beginning, pretty much. And you posted some pictures of the Zod-El war.
Right.
On the line chat. But I had this whole go wipe army trained, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at this camp, and Mailman had done this, sent this replay of somebody that either got him or I can't remember what it was, but the spell composition, Dirty Pirate went in on this guy, and I was looking at it, and I was like, okay, I think I can do it with this go wipe, if releasing on these times. And I thought, you know what? I am doing the Lava Lunian and doing really well with it. Because I've done it. I practiced with it. I had just done that for like a month and a half.
Right.
And I deleted the art. I mean, I threw it away because I asked, I'm like, does anybody want P.E.K.K.A.s? Does anybody want golems? I just wiped it out, and I did that army because I was like, you know what? I could take it from this, and I could do it from this. And I was way overthinking it, and I was way overthinking this. And then I just kind of said, okay, all right, go in. And I did. And I put a star on the two bases they were pretty high level, but at least I put a star on them. I don't know if it would have been way more of a gamble. There was a couple, one of them could have been a 2, except for my stupid queen doing something weird. But, going with what I think is like, way better, especially like in pushing. And I don't know if the time difference would really matter that much for you. If you're doing like a go wee or go wipe or your standard army versus a spell factory being finished.
Sure. But boosting the stuff has never been an issue. So if I need to boost stuff, I boost it. So,
well, I boost the one barrack and my queen, but the damn spells you're sitting there waiting for anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you use them all, of course you are. So, but yeah, earlier today I got a 46 on a guy, and then I got a 49, and these were easy ones. But I just had this mixed array of troops that I put together, and it was slop. It was a sloppy attack too. And the 49% was just pissing me off. I was like, only fucking listen to these kids at the damn lightning spell.
It is good advice, and I think. And here's the thing I think about with T-Skits is that T-Skits has always said, take your lightning in. My lightning isn't maxed yet.
No, so mine isn't either.
I imagine that if I get that next level, it's kind of like any attack strategy you listen to. It's like, okay, you can do this. But if it's not maxed, it's not really working the best.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So where do you think you're going to go for the push?
I really want to get up to champion, but I seriously doubt that that's going to happen.
2,500 gems. I had no idea about that.
Yep. So that part would be nice. I just want to get up there and get the daggone shield. So just to be able to say I've done it.
Get over there. Yeah.
Yep. And it's so easy to get back to, as you can tell, because everybody is just who's been there before. That's who's back there right now.
Quick, too.
Yeah.
It's just
extremely quick.
And I guess I think for the best advice that I got, it was from Nat and from T-Skits. And obviously, like, I'm going to take that advice because those two can, Nat, like where she's at, and she was a TH9. Next, like next. Like, and I'll go look for 100K gold,
right.
Then come back for it. But do you keep your storages high or low?
No, my thing that I try to do is I try to keep the pumps and mines very full, and that way that if I get somebody that might be why I've got my last 3 defenses have been about 20% that I've been taking, and I try to keep my pumps and mines high so that when the greedy people, they see me and they see, oh wow, I can get a lot of stuff. Look, his pumps and mines are filled up and everything too, and they come in there to get that. So
okay. I'm keeping my stuff about 1 million.
My other stuff they've got quite a bit in them. So
yeah, because it's like for some reason gold is the most. I mean, people need the stuff to push, but they can't resist the gold.
No,
which I don't know.
Well,
but my walls are getting stronger.
My next thing I've been doing is I've been looking for other members of the family, not in our clan.
Oh, I know, me too.
That's what I keep looking for, because even if I can't take them, I'm going to go in there and attack them anyways.
Definitely. So, wouldn't that be fun?
Yes, that would be. And that happened with a and you know how often I attack, and it was just a random one. I went in there and this guy had his base set up, and it pissed me off. It had the Boaz thing that pisses him off, where the Teslas were all around the town hall. I was like, and I got it, and I was like, I'm gonna take everything I can now.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I attacked him.
You want to trap this town hall? I was just going to give you a shield and move on.
I was just looking for a quick win. That's all it was. But I hit him. And then at the end, when the thing popped up showing what I did, I see that it's this guy, Tom, from Warriors Legacy. And that's what my old clan, the Warriors, became, so they could become searchable. And so I jumped over to the clan and I posted the replay right away of me hitting him. And I tried setting it up to where I put a shield up, where I actually bought a shield, and I boosted everything on my base. And I set a time with him where I was like, okay, so at this point in time here, you go in there, just start hitting revenge at this point in time, and it'll be ready for you. And
really?
Oh yeah, and it was ridiculous how much loot that I was trying to give him, and some Asian guy ended up getting it. So I was trying to give it back to my buddy from my old clan, but I gave it to somebody else.
Oh my god!
And I've got it. I don't know the exact figures on that, but I've got the screenshots of that somewhere.
And you have been, and so the last episode of the Phantom Warlord came out, part 1,
right? And
I'm guessing and really, it would be the Phantom Warlord Chronicles, part 1. But it doesn't fit on the iTunes, so I had to shorten it down, a little bit.
Yeah,
and so there are many stories. I do think that the one thing to mention is that you're not a spy in every war.
No.
By any means. It's like when the opportunity is there,
if they're closed, I can't. If their trophies are up way too high for one of my other accounts to get in, then I can't. And then a lot of if it's invite only, I go over there and I try to get into it. And we're going up against a Filipino clan right now. I went and I looked up a little bit of Tagalog to get in there to say a couple things, and they sure as shit rejected me. So yeah, I'm not in there spying on them this time either. So.
Dude, what'd you go in there with? Was it with one of the top clan or top
my
accounts?
number two.
Okay.
Because theirs to join was it was over 2,000.
Okay.
To get in. So
and it was right after.
It was right. Yeah, as soon as the other war wrapped up, I left with that account, and that's the one thing I tend to do is I either kick it out if I'm on my main account, or I'll leave if I'm on that account. And that way there, it's gone, so that when the next war starts up, it's not even on the books as far as when they open the stuff up.
Okay.
And it's a mirror account to my main as far as the base is set up almost identical. So I have to set up I did a rearrange base that really sucks as far as if I get attacked, they get a lot of loot. But that way there, it doesn't look exactly like the number 2 base of the war that they're going up against.
Oh, you know, well, I spied in that one where I went over to another clan, and I was like, yeah, that Scotty 827, and I'm Zace 827.
Yes,
I'm like,
and that's the one that, and I found my screenshots of it actually. That's the one where
I stayed, were in there.
Yeah, that's the one I stayed afterwards, and I caused them hell with their next war. As far as giving all the bad stuff, and I've got the screenshots of the actual stuff I donated to them.
But yeah, do you remember that? It was like I was trying to give it away.
Oh yeah, you were pointing it out to them point blank, saying even pointing out the 827 and everything like that as well too. And they did not pick up on not at all.
No connection.
But I've been stationed over there, and it's just kind of a happy-go-lucky type place. A lot of attitude, but just nothing bad ever happens type place. So
then it comes down to some cultural stuff too, like, you know, how people approach their base or how they approach the wars. So if you had and do you want to keep going? Like, do you have something that you want to? I was going to ask you like tips for infiltrating, but we can come back to that.
No, if you want me to get into that, I mean, I mentioned that the last time as far as the girl account works really well because you just got to get it up pretty decent.
That's what she
said. Yeah, mine's a Town Hall 7, and once you get up there, you can say, "Hey, is there anybody that can help me?" And a lot of the times, guys playing they want to help the girl out.
Girl in the house.
Yep. So that works. Having the high account that joins them, they're like, "Oh wow, you can definitely help us," especially if it's a struggling clan.
And I thought about this because you mentioned, I think you mentioned it today in the L chat about spamming the account. Was it or?
Oh, going in there. Yeah. Well, I did that last night in our clan where I started joining with all my different accounts, and I think I was claiming I was from the other clan that we're in the war against, just to screw with the new people.
I'm lazy. I don't donate.
Just to see people's reaction because they don't know who the hell these accounts are.
No, and everybody kind of gets the wind of it. All of a sudden, they're like, "Wait a second! I think if I just go LOL, I'm like, okay, here's." Then they go, "Wait a second! You
shouldn't do that, though. You shouldn't do that. You should say, my God, just do something like that. It trust me, it will get funny.
Okay.
And I will not let it get too far out of hand.
Well, and probably you've probably done that many times, but especially during this push week, I've been in the clan so much, like at night, just like around all the time, and so like I see that come in, and it's.
Well, let's wrap up the other thing there. The guy who joined today.
Okay.
So, after number 2 gets yelled at for asking for co-lead, DN jumps on Prakar saying, "This is your fault. Why did you do that?" And then immediately
I didn't see that.
Yeah, RM84 speaks up, said, "Yeah, we all saw you do it." So he's joining in, and then my Town Hall 7 gets pissed and leaves, and I post saying, "Oh my God, now the Max Town Hall 7, they're leaving," and
it's like punked for Clash of Clans.
and Dizzy makes a comment saying, "I don't know how you find a time to do this." So anyways, and then I go into the whole thing of
But see, you answer that part of that question was like you anticipated all the answers. You anticipated the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, not really, but I mean, because it was like, God, he is a fast typer.
Right. It's just kind of standard answers that if you look at them closely, it's kind of the standard answers that I'm posting or putting in there for the stuff here.
Question mark? Yeah, that one's going to be one of them. Who's
Yeah.
Matt? The other one says. Oh.
And I asked him, and I said, "Okay, you can stay if you can answer 2 questions correctly." And I posted, "Where are the fans?" And he replied back, "At their house."
Hey, good answer.
Yeah, and then I posted the other one, and this was kind of a jab at you, because that's one of the things I like to do for the fans is to put jabs at you and Boneyard and these things here. And I said, "Who's the better host, Natalie or Lady D?"
And,
so
yeah, and he goes, "I feel like it's Natalie."
Yeah.
Whose actual name is Natalia.
Yeah. I've already sent that to her online just to let her know. And she appreciated it. So
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, but some of the other clans that I've joined, there was, and this was back when I was on the 10-on-10 clan. I joined them. There was one, we were in a war against a clan called Hodor, and I just got into Game of Thrones last year.
Oh yeah.
And so my wife and I were getting caught up on everything.
Awesome.
And I went over there. I went to join them, and I just made a post on there saying, "You guys don't look like you paid the iron price for your base. You look like you paid the gem price." They thought it was the funniest. They accepted me immediately. They thought it was the funniest joke they'd ever heard. So,
oh my God.
Anyways, I joined them, and at the end, and this is another screenshot I put online. And I had more than one account in there because I was able to get more screenshots after I leave, because those are always the best ones.
Yeah. After one of your accounts leaves, you mean?
Yeah, because their reaction is priceless. Anyways, one of the dummies in there said, "I wonder if he joins all clans named Hodor and uses the same joke."
Really?
How stupid is that?
Well, I did say last night if we were, if I was going to do another account, because we were talking about weird names, or like, well, mine would be Roofy Rudy.
Yeah.
And my my join request would be like, "Who wants a drink?"
Right. I've got the screenshot right here. What if he only trolls clans called Hodor and uses the same joke to win their trust every time? The guy, and right before that, he said, "Fucking CIA should employ him and pair him up with Jack Bauer."
Jesus. They have no idea who you.
No, this is before I came over to you guys even.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I've been doing this since pretty much from day one. And myself, it was either me or my son. We were there was an episode that Boaz did with you and Boneyard, and you guys thought that we were Stinky Kyle or somebody else like that. I think his account was Miko.
Yeah. Yep.
And Boaz was saying that somebody from the clan was spying, and he said Nico, and you guys thought it was your friend from over there, but no, that was actually me.
Oh, okay. Spying on.
This was that was in Minnesota Nice 2.0.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. See, you are the Phantom Warlord. And somebody asked, "Well, who's the Phantom Warlord today?" And we said, "That's the nickname we give. That's not his actual name."
Right. No, Boaz gave that to me.
Yep. Yeah. So who gave you that nickname? And it was Boaz.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Because he was saying, "I know what we can refer to him as," and he brought that up then. So,
yeah.
One of the I asked earlier today to Wild Streak, because he happened to be in the chat. I said, "Am I giving you flashbacks to what I used to do in the Warriors?" And he said, "Yeah, you are." Like right away. And anyways, because he was there when I don't think this made the last episode at all, but when I first made my number 2 account, we used to invite people over that had no business being there. And kind of to do the same thing that I was doing to the guy Prakar today. And right as of right now, Prakar's still with us just because he's such a good sport about the stuff.
Yeah.
And
so it's not like to be mean. It's to be like
to see what people are going to do.
Yeah. And it's a practical joke. And
exactly.
He was a good sport, and guess what? He's still in the clan.
Yep. So I went and I joined the clan, which you can't find. And I just got in there, and it was invite only because that guy Joker was such a pain in the ass. We set it to that back then. And I got in there, and my number 2 at that time was only probably a Town Hall 5. And this is before I did all the stuff with the Joker stuff. Anyways, I got there, and everybody's freaking out. Wild Streak's one of the first persons who speaks up saying, "What the hell are you doing here? How did you get in?" And and I said, "I know a hack for the game." And I said, "F you, Wild Streak. Like, watch this." And everybody's talking shit, and they're like, "Oh, I got my boots ready. I got my boots ready." And then next thing they see happen is they see my account make him elder, and then they see my account make him the leader. And everybody flipped out, saying, "Oh my god, oh my god!"
Somebody could take over.
Yeah, that I had this second account that could hack, and they had no idea it was me. That could hack in and actually take over, and they thought everybody was going to get kicked. So, anyways, I let them off the hook after that, but that's kind of the things that I started doing, and that, like I said, about once, maybe twice a week, I would go on this little rampage of inviting people over and then just completely screwing with them. And if there's anybody that has seen the movie The Warriors from the 70s, they would get this. But a lot of the people from my clan had not. The ones that had, they joined in and they had a blast with this thing.
Just trying to get across town, weren't they, the whole time?
Yeah, they were just trying to get back over to New Jersey, I believe. So, but I just got this crazed idea in my head that I'm going to start talking about the Warriors movie in the clan and see if any of these people pick up on it or not, or see if I can actually scare the living hell out of them. Once again, this is one of those later on, if they go and they tell somebody, "Yeah, I tried joining this clan and they were talking about these people were getting killed and everything else like that," and no idea. So anyways, as I preface that, as soon as I would get a new person to join, and I would only do one at a time, the first thing I would post to them was saying, I was like, "Man, Swan is in charge. They just beat Cleon to death."
Oh my god.
And they're like, "Huh? What's going on?" And I say, "Watch out for the Turnbull ACs and the Gramercy Rifts. Okay, you need to watch out for them. The Rogues, they're our bitter enemies, and it's kill on sight. Can you dig it?" And then I would go in with another account saying, "Can you dig it? Can you dig it?"
Oh my god.
Anyways,
these poor 14-year-old kids are thinking they're gonna be killed in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and it was just a practical joke that only a few people got, but it was funny to me. And honestly, that was all that mattered.
It's fun to watch, and I will say this, it is not excessively mean because it's Parker or whatever is still in the clan. I mean,
exactly.
You are you're not.
I'm not vicious. No. As far as that stuff's concerned, no, I'm not.
It's just like a fucking whirlwind when you come in. It's like this guy's going here, ooh, getting promoted. This one's doing this, and then it's.
If you think about that and the humor that goes into it of a new guy joining, he sees a Town Hall 4 and a Town Hall 7 gets promoted. He's claiming, "I'm double them." I just ignore everything he says.
Well, and I think Parker said today, he's like, "What about me, bro?"
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, I want to get promoted too."
Right.
Yeah. He was very, very, very good.
Oh yeah.
Sport about everything.
He was. Sasquatch said something lately that cracked me up as well too. That's almost pretty much the funniest thing I'd heard. What's his name had messed up again. Quaz had messed up again. And Sasquatch was messing with him, and he said, "Hey, can you please talk favorably about us in your next clan?"
Well, and poor Kaz, okay. he got booted. And Kaz, I know you're probably listening.
Yep. We just told him to take a week off. So,
and then come back.
And then come back. Yep.
Okay.
Somebody posted the stuff about the Shatner chat, and in
what
every time the Shatner chat where he says one thing, hey, it's like a text, hey, next text, next text, at the movies, next text, do you want to go? And it's not even that fast. It's just spaced out. And every time you would log into the game, the thing's saying 101, 105, or 100, whatever it says, messages that you have there, and it's all him, and he's 1 to 3 words each time he's made a post. So
it's like, okay, come back later on.
Yeah,
I didn't really know what happened with him really, but he, good player. I shout out his YouTube channel right now, but I can't remember it right off the top of my head, and I will. I'll do that coming up. I mean, he's a nice guy.
Yes, very nice.
But I think like you kind of got at it in the last episode. Is like you start to kind of realize who. I think it was the last episode. Who is like younger, and we kind of go to. Older clan. Like, I mean, right. I think most of us, at least as far as I can tell, are older.
Yep. Yeah. Mailman's a year older than me, and I turned 40 later this year.
Okay.
So
you're really old. No, just kidding. I'm 34 right now,
right.
I think. I always age myself up a year because I just turn a year, and then about 6 months afterwards, I start going, yeah, I'm going to be this age. So I was like 27 for 2 years. And I was 33 for 2 years. I was 30. I just aged myself up. Yeah. But so.
One of the questions you asked before was who was the person that we got kicked out. And that was with Boneyard. And it cracked me up because I was looking at it. And there's a guy in our line chat named Daddy-O who is he was messaging in there, and I saw his name, but I was looking at the screenshots, and I saw Daddy-O96 was and it's spelled a little bit differently, was the one that we got Choo, CHOO. We got him to kick him out when we went over to the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh.
So that was when I was with Boneyard.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm going to bring this up because Boneyard, and I will tell Boneyard this, suddenly has a problem with spying.
It's probably because he doesn't have the spy anymore.
Right. Exactly. You were in the Zada War in both clans, and you gave both clans your all.
And I gave both clans 0 intel at all.
You what?
I gave zero intel to either clan as far as war bases or anything else like that. Yeah.
You didn't say anything, and in Boneyard, we ended up having to kick him out because
Oh yeah,
everybody had all the intel on both clans. I mean, because there was a lot of like second accounts and whatever. But you were a spy, or no, you weren't a spy in that war. But you played that fairly, but you also like spied with Boneyard and went to other clans with Boneyard.
There was the one time where I got all of them to go over to the Baltimore Ravens, and I was going through. I need to post this stuff online so that people can appreciate it. Because when I was
Twitter, I don't know if you.
I do. I never use it.
Okay,
but when
you need to create another one called @the Phantom Warlord.
That actually sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. And as soon as we're done with this podcast tonight, you should do that before I post it.
Okay. No, it sounds like a good idea. One of the things I said to Chew when we were over there, and was, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for Ray Lewis. And I just started bringing up different random Ravens players.
Oh no.
Just to screw with him. So
that's awesome. So we'll see where I'd love to do another Zada War, but I would love to get matched up against like Kent Farmhouse, anybody else in the family, or so we're doing a 10 versus 10 war,
right?
Like we had talked about,
Mm-hmm.
and so this happened last night, and I said, Matt, do you want to pick the roster? And you picked the roster,
Right.
and you 10 versus 10, and what do you think?
I think I picked the 10 best as far as war attacks are concerned, but shit, T-Skits is already 2-starred.
But I was thinking about this today. So, I was starting my base, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't change. I tweaked mine a bunch today. Like little things, like I moved the queen where the king was, and then I put my traps in the center. And I started doing like little things that I thought maybe would throw things off. But I thought, isn't really the goal of the war attack to get your protect your town hall? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's the only way that they can A, 3-star you,
Right.
B, 2-star you is the.
Yeah.
So I kind of had this really good idea, I thought, as I was going to work today. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, but then my other defenses didn't overlap quite as well as I thought they would.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, well, you could get in this way, get in this way. So it's awesome that you can save it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought, God, that town hall is really the key to the whole thing.
Oh, it is.
And I started thinking, yeah, you don't worry about the 50%. And the one thing that I really thought after this push was that you don't, I won't attack a base with a lava lunion
Mm-hmm.
with the walls around the outside of it.
Okay.
Because the splash damage, like of your balloons dropping, it's absorbed by the walls.
Right.
So I can usually crash them down over top of the TH. So I had started doing that, and I thought, well, yeah, I'll do a box around there. I'll do a box around like the Infernos, and then build out and like give everybody the 50, a 50%. You can take the 50% if you want it, because you can 1-star me,
right?
But it's just all about that town hall. I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, it is, because you're right. They can't get to get the 3 if they to get you have to get the town hall to get the 2 or the 3 realistically. So
Yeah.
no, you're right on with that. I'm just looking at it, and T-Skits is the first one attacked, and they get a 72% on them. So
what's going to happen?
Yeah.
It's gonna. It would be an L war,
Right.
But it probably level 40 here. T-Skits gets 2 stars all the time.
That's true. I'd say every now and then he does.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back and forth. He'll get 4. We'll say they're attack. So 10 versus 10, I kind of like it. I kind of want to see what happens. How would you change up the war matches? Because we've been debating this. Like, we've been talking about it in the clan about how will we do wars differently, like opting other people out.
Right. Well, our last war, there was, I sat out, T-Skit sat out, Mailman sat out, and a couple others sat out too. And we still got another hard as hell war to do. And it was like, okay, it's not the top heavy factor. So, the only way to really look into that would be to go to do a Town Hall 8 war.
And I think it's really, I think now, and I'm going to stand by this, and we haven't posted this yet. But me and Boaz, because the great computer crash of 2015, we recorded right after the update, and I was really adamant that this is going to change the wars,
Right.
And I think, he's like, well, what about Town Hall 1s and what about clans that have just started? And I think it's going to be war war records participating divided by, or clan war points, XP versus how
The
many
wins.
wars you've been. Yeah. And so like, and you can imagine like if like a gold rush or like, God, what movie am I thinking of? Far and Away. You know, everybody's running for their thing and everybody's right there.
Right.
You know, crammed in, and then all of a sudden it's going to start spacing itself out. So, like, you might go up against a harder clan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know where the algorithm will end up, but I just think we're seeing a little bit different matchups, except for the top 40. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the 40 level heroes since that update.
Right. And T-Skits and I, he's got higher Barb King than I've got, but we both have like a level 25 Queen. But they're outmatched almost by 15 almost every single war that we're going into.
Yeah. Do you think? I guess here was the question: was do you think that if the clan is where it's at, and then you do a war that the opt out
Mm-hmm.
or opt in, like that factors in to where it's at? Because I was just thinking, like, you know, the strength of our clan, and if we did, you know, like you just said, like, you know, I don't think it's the top heavy,
Right.
but is it the top heavy if they're in the clan and they don't?
That's where we've got to do a throwaway war and just do the Town Hall 8s and see what we get.
Okay.
Because that would either prove it or would more than likely no one's Supercell, and if they are listening, they're just going to do something to screw with our minds even more, and we'll never know.
No kidding, huh?
Yeah, because that's something I've dug for a long time, just trying to find anything. They've got the FAQs on there and everything, but it just doesn't tell you.
Well, no, and I don't think they would.
No, because
you know,
people.
It's about solving. It's about speculating on it,
Mm-hmm.
and improving it so they can listen. Because Supercell's been kind to me, except for today. One of the Supercell team rated me,
And I saw you saw somebody post. How did you know that?
because one of the people on my friends list,
Okay,
is Supercell, and they're part of that team.
Okay.
And so I was
Gotcha.
like, God, that looked familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and looked, and you know, when I got attacked, and I went and looked, and that person was in the clan. I'm like, oh, that was the -16 today.
Wow.
It's taking me all day to get back from.
Wow.
Bastard. Did not respect the town hall only rule. I didn't
boy.
trap it.
They just attacked PWN, and we're at 5, 0-5 right now. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we've got all of our attacks. I think, you know, I kind of think, like, going forward on future wars, I think you guys have been on to something. With, you know, the opting people out, I think, you know, down, I don't know how we figure this out as we go forward, but, you know, do we opt out, or is it, you know, kick out, or, you know, war performance, how we measure that, you know, it all. But, you know, or do we do weekend wars? I don't know. What do you think? I mean,
we could do something along the lines like that, where the weekend war would be for the ones who did not perform up to wherever we set the bar at. They're the ones that do the weekend war.
I don't perform that well, about, you know.
And honestly, I don't either. Every now and then I'll have a badass war, but every now and then it's I got, I think, 1 star on one base yesterday, and I was using my second account, but I got a 0 on the other one.
And so how do we, like, factor that in versus, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, well, I guess part of it is, like, going low for, you know, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, what thoughts have you had on it? Because
I liked what Botox was doing when he was with us as far as putting the pressure on the lower guys. And it's something I don't think it's actually been mentioned on the podcast, but it's been brought up in the chat a lot. If you go in there and you 2-star a Town Hall 8 because you went up higher than your base is, you did us 0 favors whatsoever.
Okay.
If you're one of the lower ones and you're attacking up on both attacks, and you don't get 3 stars, and somebody else has to drop down to get those stars, how did you help the clan out? Because honestly, you didn't help the clan out at all, because you've just made it so somebody else has to go in there and attack them. So,
do you think it changes a little bit since the XP points got introduced?
It does if we're not going to win the war. But if we're not going to win the war, then that's when you go for it. But not at the beginning, and that's normally when your lower guys are going for their attacks.
I feel a little more choked. I'll tell you that much, because like that last war that we were in, it was, I was waiting, and like, yeah, I dumped my go wipe army,
right?
But it was like, okay, can I just put 1 star on this one base, and okay, or do I go lower and hit this one or hit this one? And I was really kind of waiting to see, do we need the XP from the top 5? And if you're going to get, so number 1 and number 2 were 40 heroes.
Right.
They both had maxed heroes. But at what point do you go up? Like it's kind of like about, did we win, or where does the math end up? And so it does become about that lower part of it, where you're like, how do we slam into this? Like, and as somebody attacked, or this person attacked, it became like, how do we, where do I need to go? And quite frankly, I don't think that I'm that great against Town Hall 9s. I'd rather go against a TH10 because I'm so used to doing that.
Right.
Because you change spells, you change.
Well, I heard Boaz say that, and I was like, no, you don't turn off the freeze, because what if you're using the freeze to freeze up the Town Hall troops? And that's one thing where I disagree with him, because him not having freeze, he's never used it. So,
yeah. I think a 1 freeze thing might make it, but I wouldn't take 2. I did like pushing. Even if I see a Town Hall 9, I'm like, okay, I'm going in on this. But I'm like, well, I have freeze. And I think about that more now, because I'm like, you know what? 4 rages and a heal, I would do way better at that.
Okay.
But that one freeze to freeze the Town Hall troops, I would go over top of them with my loons,
Right. Right.
But
I tend to have really good results going up against the 9s when it comes time for me to go in there and knock out one of the 9s.
I think with a ground army, it's really good.
And that's what I use. So,
and when I'm farming down in like Masters 3 or down there, where you can get the loot bonus, and when I talk about like where I'm farming, it's like the bonus helps you about, with what you can take from that base, whether or not it's down lower than that or whatever. That's why I will take Velks and Giants. It's not because I'm like, thinking, okay, I just want to do this attack. It's like, I know where I can get to and what I can target with a specific base or with a specific army composition. I can either go for the TH or I can go for the 4,000 Dark Elixir.
Right.
And get what I want. So, and this kind of goes back to what too. Like when I'm farming with the Velk Giants, it's like, do your war attack with that.
Right. Yep. And the one thing I think you should exploit more is the revenges up there where you are right now, because you can go in there and see how many troops they've got in their clan castle, and especially if they're hitting your town hall and then just taking that and then leaving.
Tell me how you do your revenges. I'm really curious about this.
The first thing I do is when I'm going through there, especially where I'm at right now, I'm looking to see what type of troops they attack me with, and if I see lower troops, then I know that's one of the low guys that happen to find his way up there. And that's the first one that I want to go back and hit because that's going to be easy. But when I go in there, I'll visit the person first. If I'll hit revenge and just see if I can get them. And if it's open, I'll end it immediately. And then I'll go in and I'll check out the base. I'll go visit it. You can click on the CC and it'll have the however many troops they've got in the clan castle at that point in time. You'll see if their king or queen is awake. And you can also look for other stuff on the base as well too. And from that right there, if their CC is low and if their king and queen are asleep, that's the perfect time to get back in there and revenge them. And one of the other perfect times to revenge them is you just have to get lucky with this stuff is right after they have attacked you and their king and queen are sleeping. And if your king and queen are awake and you can go hit them right back, you can tend to do pretty good. Because I've been exploited by that in the past.
And that's what I'll look for in pushing. It's like if the king and the queen are asleep, or if the queen's not there, whatever.
Yep.
I kind of think I'm just going to keep my queen going all the way up,
right,
before my king.
Oh, and that's something I was doing a long time ago. I finally got to the point where it's like, okay, queen's at 25 and my king's at 14. It's time to bring him up a little bit. And I was going to get him up to he's at 19 right now. Get him to 20 and then take her up to 30.
I did think about this today too. As we're talking about it, why, if you don't go to TH10 over a 9, your barbs can't get up to the max level. So you actually increase your king's ability by being able to increase your barb's ability.
Yep.
Because they summon the level
the
of
barbs
troops
that you have. Right.
Yeah.
So that would be the same for the queen as well too.
Yeah.
Or for the archers.
I think that the revenge is a little bit outdated.
Mm-hmm.
I think that because if you go into the revenge, and I didn't realize this when I was first pushing, because I didn't do the revenge as much,
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's, I wasn't trophy pushing. I didn't, do the stuff, but I kind of think it's a remnant of the old system where the revenges used to be like, okay, you go in, you attack. This is before the league stuff, so you don't get the league bonus when you attack on a revenge.
No, you get none of that stuff.
Yeah, so it's only
that's where
the
you
trophies.
Right, but you can get like up to 50, maybe even higher than 50 trophies if the person's that much higher than you.
Or a lot lower.
Yeah.
Because I went to revenge a couple people yesterday, and there was 2 trophies available. And the town hall was outside, so I said, I'm going to hit this. And I said, I want to figure out what the algorithm is on it. Mm-hmm. So I just put 2 minions on the town hall, took it. And I thought, well, do they round up or do they round down? And so I did get 1 trophy from it.
Right.
But other ones are 0.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If it had 5 trophies you could have got, and you only get the 1 star, you're only going to get 1 trophy. Instead of getting like the 2 for the first one, 2 for the second one, you're only going to get the 1 trophy for it.
And it's based on how far apart you are in trophy.
Yes. And I made a stupid mistake with that. One of the first times I was pushing, I put my dark elixir outside, and I had quite a bit of it at the time too. And I was just trying to get people to bite off on it and go and take it from me. And I was going to move up in trophies. And this is a couple years ago. But sure as shit, somebody revenged me, and I got no trophies because this guy was down in the thousands, like 1,100, 1,200.
Dark elixir.
And he took all my fucking dark elixir. I couldn't revenge him back.
Man.
Nothing. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yep.
So, okay. Yeah, I did not think about that. It's because on the way down, I'm gonna do something else. But
right. One of the things there was something you wanted me to bring up about the farming. Sorry, about the spying. The one thing that I've seen a lot of people post, why would you spy and everything like that, and everybody knows that I like to do it just a goofball and go in there and screw around with people. But the other reason to do it as well is if you go in there and you're going up against an active clan, you now have an actual video And I wish there was some way I could go in there and save them to give them to people in the clan. You have a video of how exactly the previous wars went for them and who attacked their bases, how they attacked them, and how many stars they got. And if you can actually take that and follow it, you don't need Xmod or any other stuff like that.
Right.
So
because you could look at it and go, okay, well, yes, I think that's a really cool piece because I don't know, we don't all. And I don't very often go look online to see how to attack a certain, what certain strategy. They're great people in the clan, like
oh yes,
that do that. That learn from the YouTube stuff and really do these cool like Mystic. I keep thinking of all the time. I mean these awesome attacks that are just beautiful.
Right,
and he's been hitting 99%. On these Town Hall 10s, and I thought, oh man, I mean, like it just comes down to time with those guys, with those attacks. But if you could look at how somebody attacked it, it's kind of like watching a replay, but you have it on game
the base.
day.
You have it on the base you're just about to attack.
Yeah, yep. and so if you could share that would be awesome.
Right.
And why spy?
Yep.
And I think the spying thing also, I don't think it also necessarily means that your clan's going to win, because it all comes down to like skill level.
Oh yeah. And there's been plenty of times I've spied and it doesn't translate into anything. And that's normally when I'm quiet when I'm leaving. So those are the ones where I don't have much to say at all.
Oh yeah. You just, okay. See you guys later. Just fade into the background. Yeah, it's, so like, spying is awesome, but it does not necessitate a win.
Right.
If you could see every trap and everything like that, because a lot of times it's like you kind of have a good idea about it.
Sure.
When you go in, where the hog traps are, and if you're just not a good attacker or you're bad attacker, I'm a bad attacker most of the time. I think I guess that's probably one of the things that's going to be that achievement. I've only got 279 war stars.
Right.
I only attack TH10 or no, I attack down, but I think it's the level and what you're used to, what what you don't know.
Sure. But I think for people like us, where we've been Town Hall 10 since war started, we're expected to get the higher stars. How many did you say you had?
279.
Okay, I'm at 262. Okay, so right behind you on that one.
And then if we look at that achievement when people are coming into the clan, we go, oh wow, I guess I don't.
Yes.
And then. But maybe the spoils of war is going to be a more indicative measure of.
Yeah, because if they're going in there and they're hitting the lower bases because their higher ups in the group already went in there, Town Hall 10, and their higher ups in the group already went in there and they beat everybody else up for them, and they're a happy leader and they get to go in 3-star Town Hall 8 that wasn't 3-star, then sure. Yeah.
Where are you at on the firefighter achievement? Which is destroy 5,000 Inferno Towers in multiplayer battles.
On that one, 273.
I'm at 1414.
Jeez. Well, this is more along the lines where you're playing all the time, and I'm doing wars.
Yeah. Matt has not had a shield. Except for the last couple of weeks, I think. Yeah. Like people commented on it, and I never really noticed it,
But every time I get one, Mailman flips out.
Oh, so, yeah.
He flips out.
And
the one thing that when we did the podcast before, I realized that I don't get credit for any of my defenses if I don't have a shield. So I rack up tons of defensive wins, and I don't get credit for any of them because I haven't had a shield the whole time.
Yeah. You know what? I actually mentioned that to somebody in the clan the other night. I think Dr. Octagon, Droctagon, as I like to call him, was looking at somebody else's camp and said, well, he doesn't have any defensive wins, or he doesn't have any. And I said, oh yeah, Matt mentioned that if you do not attack or you do not have a shield, you do not get that. Does it count towards your defensive wins?
I don't know. I haven't tracked that.
That would be really interesting.
I can track it starting this Sunday.
Where are your defensive wins at?
Not that high.
It's got to be pretty high.
It's only about 600 something.
See, I'm at 607. You have to have
637 is where I'm at. So yeah, I'm thinking it's not tracking.
You're going to have to attack every Sunday night. You know that.
Yep, I think so.
If that's the case, because you should have way more than I do.
Right.
The Inferno battle, the Inferno achievement, I think is going to be. I've got 3,500 to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's really crazy.
That's a ton.
And that's why I think. Well, I'm going to say there's an Inferno troop coming.
Right.
I don't know, but
there could be. I still believe with that iOS thing, as far as the game still works for iPad 1. They've got to get away from that. I think that's why you can't steer your troops yet. And
you know
that's
what?
why
that was in part 2, so we didn't talk about that. You asked whether or not you said it was on iPad 1.
Mm-hmm.
What was your...
You can still play the game on iPad 1. And like Boom Beach and a lot of the other games, you cannot play them on iPad 1. And I'm just wondering if there's features that Clash of Clans is not updating because they don't want to lose their people that are still playing it on the old iPod the iPod Touches or the iPad 1.
And I had said when we had talked that I thought it was because of the file size, and I don't think that's true.
Right.
When
no,
I
just don't understand why it's still like that though.
Well, what features do you think that they would have that?
The steering, the one thing, the Boom Beach, you made the mention of the wind where you would blow your troops over and everything. I mean, it's kind of the exact same thing as on Boom Beach where you can put the flare down and your troops will run towards that. I don't understand why they don't have something like that. Where you can't interact with them at all. Boom Beach, made by the same company, you can do that. So
I do kind of think that they should just be working on the Queen. The King is pretty fine now, don't you think? Nobody ever complains about the King anymore.
No, the
King is
Queen,
an idiot,
Mm-hmm. But you know exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah,
he's got kind of this. Everybody's gotten the P.E.K.K.A down, and it's just they know that, and they know what he's going to do as well too. So, but the Queen and the Dragons are the ones that are just the screwballs that go exactly where you don't want them to go.
Do you think there's a place for dragons in Town Hall 10?
It's sometimes yes, but I don't know. They everything that they've been upgrading. The only thing I mentioned this in part 2 also. The only thing left they have to do now is the Rage, the Healer, and the Witch. As far as giving troops another upgrade from 9 to 10, and then after that they're out. So Town Hall 11 has to be around the corner here soon because everything it's going to start doing 2 upgrades at Town Hall 10, and every other Town Hall you get there you get to upgrade your troops one time.
What do you think would happen if they did level 5 dragon?
I don't know because they're all so dumb, and it just seems that everybody was using them when wars first started, and I was one of them who used them all the time, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Other people can go in there still, and they've got them mastered. Nat being one of them, and I've given up on them completely.
Yeah, I haven't used them much. I guess Boneyard uses them with pig dogs,
and that makes sense. When I when I used to climb, I used to do hogs and dragons, and that's what I used to do to do my trophy climbs before in the past. But I haven't done that in a long time.
I don't know how the drag pig dog combination would work really well for the higher level attacks. I mean, I don't really understand it because the dragons are so slow. They get caught on. If you are at Town Hall 8, Town Hall 6, Town Hall 5, Town Hall 7, whatever you're at, I would always put where I want to go between the clan castle. I would put the town hall in front of the clan castle, like where I'm going to go at, because the downfall of dragons is they get stuck on that clan castle, and that clan castle has huge hit points.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would always go, I always put myself like, you never know where you predictably can funnel them, right?
Right.
But I would never put my dragons on the same side as my clan castle.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see like level 5, maybe like at Town Hall 10 to use dragons again. Because I haven't used dragons and I only brew them for other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the fill the war CCs. And
I think there's another person in the clan that has a max dragon. Do you have a max dragon?
All my troops are maxed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's right now the only things left are my jump and my lightning. Everything else is maxed.
I'm in the exact same boat.
Yep.
So
I'm going to do jump next, and then lightning will be last.
Yeah, and I had that. I thought it would be lightning first, but I think it's going to be jump.
Right.
Because you can drop the jump faster, 20 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Faster.
Oh yeah. You might not need to anymore, unless you're trying to go in and then out somewhere else too.
Do you have advice for starting the game for people that have just started the game? What would you do different, or what would you?
That's one of the things I do a lot, actually, is when I find out somebody comes up to me, because I've already talked to them about it more than likely. They come up to me and say, hey, I finally started playing it and I like it and everything. I tend to lose it, and I embarrass people if they show me their base. And this one guy that I work with, he showed me his, and he's a Town Hall 8, and he had level 2 Wizard Towers and level 3 Mortars, and I just was like, oh my God, what'd you do? My advice for him, buy the builders right from the get-go. Don't wait for the gems for him. If you're going to spend any money in the game, spend it on the builders right from the get-go.
Do you think
and
so?
Then,
because you can usually earn it if you're going to play long enough.
You can earn it, but to me, the time you save right from the beginning, as far as to get yourself, for me as an experienced player going back through, it may be on the other side. If it's a new player, then they're not going to go through it as fast as I could. But if I get the 4 or 5 builders going right from the get-go, I can get that thing to Town Hall 6, Town Hall 7, normally within about 2 to 3 weeks, if that. So,
but those new players need to learn how to attack a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Giants, you need your meat shield.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all about the fundamentals. I think it's your shields, your meat shields.
Yep.
Followed by your range and P.E.K.K.A.s. We talk about P.E.K.K.A.s. We talk about golems. The P.E.K.K.A.s are glorified barbs. Really.
Mm-hmm. No, they are. I used to, when I first started playing, when I was trying to take over the game, I would use 10 of them to do my war, or to do the regular attacks with.
You would? And 10 P.E.K.K.A.s?
Yeah. I was stupid when I first started playing. I've got screenshots of it too, as far as how horrible my base was. Yeah, I would use 10 of them.
You have to get your Twitter going, because
I got up to by November of 12, I was over 2,000 trophies, but I would get hit and lose almost every set I had. I was getting destroyed by everybody.
So they take, you probably pissed everybody off. Because you leave the war chat while you were doing something, and that, well, no, I suppose that was back in the day when we didn't have war.
Oh yeah, way before the war. And I was looking at the screenshots, and I was like, wow, there was no troops donated, there was no anything. It just showed your name and how many trophies you had. That's it.
Yeah, you really reminded me of that when we recorded the last time. Was that even the community, about how there wasn't.
No, that's what got me turned on to you guys, is that I started listening to you guys, because there was just really nothing else out there. And I had nobody that liked playing the game back then either. It wasn't as popular. And you guys were talking about it. I had nobody else that I worked with or any of my other friends that I could get them to talk about the game. And it was, you guys were talking about the stuff, and you guys would give advice, and it would be golden to me. And I'd go back to my clan and tell them to do it, and they would say, "That's the stupidest shit we ever heard."
Yeah, well, I bet. Because we were just like, a bunch of Town Hall 8s or Town Hall 9s trying to figure this stuff out too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was advice. It was more like, hey, this worked for me this one time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, now it's like segregated into war, to farming, to pushing. I mean, it's kind of divided up into like, 3 different things. I'm not a good farmer. I mean, I like to farm dark elixir.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a good... Well, I am a good farmer, I guess. I think. I mean, I guess all my troops are maxed.
If you were to go back and take a look at, because you've been talking about it on the podcast a lot, as far as how many troops you've upgraded recently, and I'm doing it the long way, where I just let my pumps and mines come in, and then I do the war attacks, and I get the bonus loot from that. You've upgraded so many more troops than I have over that course of time.
Since they fixed that the elixir.
Right. Yep.
It took me like 6 months to get my P.E.K.K.A.s up.
Yep. I just wish they would have had it where you could use elixir on the walls back when I had no reason for any elixir whatsoever for the longest time. So I had no problems donating more troops to anybody.
It was between July and December till they fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to get my P.E.K.K.A. up.
Right.
And then I was watching the evening news, and there was a drug for that. And now look at me. I'm glowing.
Right. Yep.
No. But Cialis, I think it was. I'm just kidding. But you remember that time? It was just like, wars were draining elixir, because... And now it's not so much, and...
After the one update where they got the peak up to 4, and it was after that one there. That's back when I was farming heavily, and it just got to the point where I didn't need elixir anymore, and that would have been the perfect time for me. But then, right around the time they're making the walls where you could buy them with elixir, it was like, shit, no, I need the elixir for getting the troops up. So
yeah, and then everybody like Town Hall 7s, Town Hall 6s. So if you're out there, like there used to be a time, only a few months ago at this point, that they changed it in the update that walls could be upgraded at Town Hall 7 or Town Hall 8.
It's at Town Hall 8. I believe it's actually no. I think is it Town Hall 9? It's right after the Skull
now
Wars,
it's
right?
Town Hall 9. Or yeah, no, okay. Now it's level 8 walls.
Right.
But you could put it into your elixir into the walls. And so all of a sudden there was a drought.
Oh, yeah.
Of elixir. And you can go in and take it. But it like the Town Hall 9s that were... Yeah, and then Boneyard got caught with that because all of a sudden he wanted to do his walls, and he only had a few of them to level 8. Yep. And... So I mean, the game radically changed. It's a very evolving game, and it's always like something different. And that's why if you're listening now, don't go back to the very first podcast and take that advice. Only listen to it for the entertainment value, because if you follow that advice, you are screwed.
Oh yeah,
you are screwed. Like the Hogs came out, or the Witches. When the Witches came out, oh my god.
Oh, yeah, because I remember seeing the YouTube videos on those, because my son would show them to me, of them, people just going out there using nothing but witches and just wiping out maxed bases.
Could you? So, you know what? That would be a really good idea for witch level 3. Would not be the amount of skeletons, but it would be the distance from the skeletons.
Right.
Like the old distance, because the skeletons always got in there way farther,
right?
So the range,
right? Well, that upping her hit points, upping her attack is so weak. It doesn't do anything to anything, and it's just
Do you think it would
making her spawn the stuff quicker, because she's one of the troops that's actually gotten dumber as well too. She's great on defense, but on offense, it's just she, they don't seem to ever react to what's attacking them. So
yeah. She gets hung up on those level 8 walls, forever.
Yep.
And I think there's going to be since you changed the wall, AI, or not AI. I mean, you can't change AI on a wall, but if you change the ability for people at Town Hall 9s to, or level 8 walls to, strengthen their walls with Elixir, I've noticed this in the wars a lot, and especially against Town Hall 9s, is that, I mean, can you attack like with a go wee or go wipe when there's really, really strong walls?
Only if you got the jump spell ready.
Yeah.
And if you've got a wall breaker that can bust through for you. So
I think they're going to have to level that playing field next. I think that's the next like piece of the puzzle, is that either the wall breakers change, because there's been time. Do you remember that one attack I went against a 9? They had really high walls. I did a really cool attack. It was a go wee, and it went really well. Right. But it came down to time, because the walls were so strong. Because they had the ability to get the walls so strong. Mm-hmm. I think that's where it like leveled out. So I kind of think that's the next piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, there's so many different things that are just glaring out there. But my thing is that getting it off of just being an old iPad 1 where you could still use it. I think once they go away from that, that's when we're going to see the new troops come out.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, August of 13 is when the Witch came out, and then you just had the Lava Loon come out not too long ago, but it's just been dry.
You can still update it on your old iPad?
Oh yeah. You can still play it on the old iPad. Yep,
which means you're going to have to move forward with the new.
Yeah, I've got a new iPad, so that's not a big deal. But it's going to not let me grief as many people as I used to.
Let me ask this. Let's wrap up here. We're at an hour and 20 minutes. What does the Phantom Warlord's command center look like?
Normally I'm sitting on my couch. I've got my phone, and I've got my iPad Air, and then I got my son's iPad Mini. That's normally what I'm using.
So you've got...
Okay. And how I got my 2 accounts up so high is that, and it used to be with the iPad 1, which wouldn't automatically fade to black on me like my iPad Air does. If I leave it sitting for too long, I would go in and I would attack with the first one, set that down as the troops were rebuilding, and just move the screen around every now and then I would go on the iPad Mini, and I would use the number 2 account, and I would attack with them as the other ones troops are building back up. So that's how I built up the 2 accounts so quickly.
Any experiment with fruit?
I had heard about that. I tried it. It just started making the screen move around. Really weird. Because I had heard about that. I think that was from Boaz with the banana. And no, that never. No, it
just, you come back, try to attack, and it slips right across the screen.
Yeah, no. I had one of my first times ever farming really good, and I had gotten about, for me it was the first time, and I got about 1.5 million gold, and I had done about 5 or 6 attacks, and then all of a sudden it said your client and your server out of order or whatever it was, and it restarted the game on me, and when it restarted I had none of that stuff there, and that was back in December 12, January 13, and that just screwed me up royally. I was like, what the hell? And I thought about quitting the game back then.
Yeah, and we're still here. And you know what? Everybody was asking online last night, online, like the line chat, not online. Yes. When did you first start? When did you upgrade your gold coffers? Because I couldn't,
I've got this. I know exactly when I started playing, because we had, I was working that day. It was a Sunday when I first started playing. we were working, and I was waiting on a couple of my sailors to get some work done, and I was waiting for them to get their stuff done. And I went over to a bar right after that, and
you
I
are
went
a
over.
chief, right?
Yes, I'm a chief. I went over to the Navy.
In the Navy.
Yep. I went over to a bar because one of the senior chiefs said he was retiring and he wanted everybody to come over and say goodbye to him at a bar. We went over there and we just missed these two female E5s that were there. And within a week, one of those two E5s committed suicide. So that date sticks out to me. The date of her suicide sticks out to me. So the Sunday before August 24th, that's the day I started playing. I've never gone back and actually looked up the actual date. 2012.
Okay.
Yeah. I was sitting in the office, and this is about 5 p.m., just playing this game, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. This is really cool. I started my second account, which ends up being the Nico account, which I traded my number 2 that I use now that you guys know. I traded that one to my son. So when I started that up, that's when the Game Center stuff started up, and I've got a screenshot of that, and it's October of it's like October, I can't remember the date, but 2012 as well.
And so we went back and looked at, well, powerful story. Hearts out to her family and and everybody. We went back and, like, on the line chat, we were looking at the upgrade gold coffers, which now sounds really morbid in comparison.
Yeah. It was too bad. It was just, that's a crazy story for another time.
It sticks out, it sticks out.
It's why I remember the date.
Yeah.
So.
And so everybody was kind of showing off their junk online last night, and it was mine was September 27th, 2012.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't have a Game Center for my Matt account at that point.
Okay.
Because I didn't know the difference of that stuff, and
you didn't understand how far-reaching you would be in your tentacles at that point.
To go back and do the game all over again, that was nonsense. There's no chance in hell. It took too long to get there. That's what I thought at first until I went back and actually did it.
Well, and you remember, like, people were like, level 88 was like the top people in the world.
Yeah, the one thing when Boaz was doing his interviews, I was like, you've got to get Sneaky Dave. I want to know how the hell he got all the way up. They created higher levels for him.
Hashtag get Sneaky Dave.
But Boaz, he messaged me right back. He said, "Yep, similar minds think alike as far as that he's long retired."
Oh, really?
So yeah, but he had gotten all the way up to 200.
I remember.
And I'm sitting at 147, 148 right now, and there's just I don't know how the hell he did it, but it got to the point where I think Clash of Clans had to up the thing to 300 just because of players like him.
Really?
And he's the one who also went around and got his whole base covered with presents when you could plant the Santa bomb.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I remember Atiok.
Oh, yeah. Having that. He either had the pumpkin.
Santa bomb forever.
Yeah.
And he protected it all year long. And I think it was like 9 months. Okay. So there was a Santa bomb. Because a lot of people that are listening to the podcast might not have played it at that point. Mm-hmm. This was 2 years ago. Was it?
That would have been
a year ago.
That was Christmas of 13.
Okay, so it was like a year and like 3 months ago. So they came out with a Santa bomb, not the tree that spits out the presents, but it was a Santa bomb. It was an extra bomb, and Atiok always had. He kept that Santa bomb for a long time, and Atiok would be in the wars. This was before Clan Wars started. So the Santa bomb, once it went off, and this was during a very particular update, between December and January, they only had it for so long, and after that went off, you couldn't get it anymore.
No, it was gone at that point in time.
Gone.
Yep.
And when we started the wars and Atiok was in the wars, he still had his Santa bomb because it had never been set off.
Yep.
And that went on till September or October.
Right.
Until his actual base got raided and the Santa bomb got tripped off. And that was it. And Santa would come across the top of the screen and drop the bombs. Right? Well, I mean, I can't quite remember the graphics of it, but there was a sleigh and Santa.
Yeah. And that had to have been the biggest distraction point for anybody ever attacking him.
No kidding. And
just to see that thing go again.
It.
Yeah.
Just, firing again. Here comes Santa Claus in the middle of July,
right.
Attacking him.
Yep.
So, and then I remember the day he said, oh, somebody got it.
Yep. I kept my pumpkin bomb from the previous October until about last May, and then finally somebody got it. But my every day
and
I would get up in the morning.
So the pumpkin bomb was that same year?
Yeah, it was the same year. It was at Halloween.
Okay. And I tried to keep I think I kept my Santa bomb, or I kept something in a very particular enclosed thing, and balloons dropped on it.
Yep. Because that's the one that was harder to keep, the Santa bomb was, because if you had air or ground could set it off. The pumpkin bomb was easier to keep because it was a ground thing. And I had mine tucked away over near a corner where there was just walls blocking it, so no troops could really get in there. But there was just different trolls going around, and I think somebody hit me with wall breakers over in the corner just because they knew what I was doing.
God, isn't it crazy to think back to the old days of Clash of Clans? And we got a Santa bomb, we got a pumpkin bomb, these things, and
right.
So we'll see that in the future. But we're at 1:30 now, so we better kind of wrap up. I think for a part 2 of many Phantom Warlord Chronicles. And a lot of war advice because, or just clan advice, because I think, Matt, I rely on Matt all the time to keep the clan in shape.
The one thing I put out in the part 2 last time, and I'll keep this short, is the one thing that I go by with these things is, are you making the clan stronger, or are you making it weaker? You don't get a third choice. So that's the whole thing.
Yeah. And I think that fits, because I think with House of L, people come to House of L and then they fail on their attack. Don't kick me out. They don't say that, but they're like, oh, I'm sorry about this. It's like, no, we learn here, that type of thing. But if you're willing to learn, and you're,
if the one thing I pointed out the other day online was when I pulled up the House of El Hasazad War. If you're a Town Hall 10 and you can't 3-star a Town Hall 8, then you're probably not going to stick around.
All right, I'll see you later. Just kidding.
Because that's what King Richie, he 2-star Jungle Insider during that war. So, and
but you know what? That's kind of unfair a little bit.
No. That would be an easy 3.
But, Boaz, he's so... Okay, Jungle Insider is also Boaz.
But the Town Hall 8, that's not hard for a Town Hall 10.
Yeah. But I do kind of think that's an unfair comparison. Right. Because, a second account, I don't know. I mean, but yes, okay. All right. I get it. Okay. Yeah. Boaz is a wonder. Sometimes, I don't know if I could attack Boaz's base and maybe with my pig dog. I don't know. He's no Inferno, so I'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But
yep.
And that was in the new part of war too. So okay. All right. God, you bring me back to the old days. See, I start thinking about the old days of it.
Right.
And how everything has shifted since. And Clan Wars now XP points, and not XP points.
It is just continually changing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an evolution. So we try to be the cataloger of Clash Clans. So get a hold of us at clashclanspodcast@gmail.com, at WBSMT Radio, and soon to be, did your Twitter yet? At the Phantom Warlord?
Yep.
You got it?
Oh, no, I haven't gone into the site yet, no.
At the Phantom Warlord. I bet you can get it.
Okay. I'll have to go in there and take a look.
Okay. At the Phantom Warlord, hopefully. And 42427 Clash. Keep it clashy, everybody. I can't wait to get into more with the Phantom Warlord down the road. So, part of it was just today.
Yep.
All right. Keep clashy. Just a quick after the show note. If you want to follow the Phantom Warlord on Twitter, it's P_Warlord on Twitter. So check him out. Keep it clashy, everybody.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.